Today we are going to be upgrading the hard drive in our Asus VivoBook F1512JA. It comes with a 256 gigabyte NVMe key solid state drive. And here I have ordered the Samsung 970 EVO M2 Generation 3 2280 M-Key 1 terabyte drive. We're going to go from a 256 gigabyte drive to 1 terabyte. And not only that, this drive has better read and write times. That is correct. 30% faster than the stock hard drive, which is only a 256 gigabyte Western Digital drive. So you're going to want to do a few things since these drives are rather different. You're going to want to buy a USB enclosure so that you can hook this thing up externally, because we're going to have to clone the hard drive before we take the laptop apart. We're going to clone the partitions, the operating system. We're going to make an exact copy. I will leave a link in the description of the video where you can pick up an external USB enclosure for these drives, because you're going to need to put the brand new drive that you buy into this enclosure and then hook it up and clone the drive, the entire drive, onto the new hard drive before you take apart the laptop. This comes with two different kinds of cables, USB-C to USB-C or USB-C to regular USB 3 to 3.1. It also has the enclosure, which you can see here, and it comes with a screwdriver and all of the mounting screws that you're going to need. The first thing that we're going to do is open the external USB enclosure. Just remove the plastic. Sometimes it's on there pretty good, but just go ahead and take it out of there. And once this is open, just go ahead and remove it. And this particular enclosure, and I'm going to leave a link to where I bought it and how much it cost in the video description. Now, one of the things you want to do that most people don't is read the instructions. A lot of people, you just wouldn't believe it. They don't read instructions, and it's so simple. And you could be doing something wrong, and you could be sitting there aggravated or cussing, and something not working when it's right there in the instructions. So please read that. These are the exact instructions, so if you need to, you can even pause this video if you've lost the instructions. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Let's open up the enclosure. You just grab here on the black piece and you just pull, and the enclosure should open right up. And our next step, of course, is eventually we're going to put the new hard drive that we just got, this 970 EVO, the Samsung drive, into this enclosure, and then we're going to hook it up to the laptop. You just pick it up and you'll see that there is a notch in the laptop interface connector, and it will only go in one way. And you take the screws that come with the enclosure and you screw it into the enclosure. These screws right here. And once it's in there, you push it in and you screw it all together, and then you take your USB-C cable and then you hook it to your laptop. Then you'll want to go to Samsung.com, scroll down to data migration. Since I bought a Samsung drive, they will give free software or utility, whatever you want to call it. It clones the drive, the old drive to the new drive, and that includes all the partitions, the operating system, recovery partitions, everything. It makes an exact copy. And with this particular software, you do not have to worry about resizing the hard drive to be bigger. The program does it for you. In other words, since it came with a 250 gigabyte hard drive and the new drive is 1 terabyte, it is going to resize the partition to where it's going to be 1 terabyte. It's going to read the full size, and I'm going to have a lot more room when it's all said and done. Now here's the user interface of the Samsung data migration utility. Up at the top, it will say this, have listed the source hard drive, which will be the Western Digital 250 gig. And at the bottom, it will ask what hard drive I want to clone it to. So then I just choose the 1 terabyte hard drive. After the program gets done, it actually shuts down the laptop. And then we are ready to take apart the laptop. Here it is in all of its glory. Now, you're going to need a precision screwdriver set, basically with a Phillips head. And there are 10 screws on the bottom of this laptop. And you'll kind of want to make a note. See, here's my precision tool driver set. And you'll want to get kind of like a smaller Phillips head to put on the screwdriver, or a Phillips bit as you would call it. And like I was saying, there are 10 screws in this laptop that's holding the bottom shell or plastic casing on. And you'll want to make note of how you take these off, because they're not all the same size. In fact, the ones on the bottom row are much smaller than the ones on the top row. And even the ones in the middle row are just a tad bit different than the ones on the top row. So when you take them off, you might just want to put them in rows, or make a note of where they came off at so you know exactly how they go back on. You don't want a long screw going into a short screw hole. That would definitely mess things up. Here is me showing you the different sizes of the screws. Now, once all of the screws are out, the best place on this particular laptop I find to pop this off, you'll want to take a piece of plastic. I'm using a plastic pick here, and I'm going up by the hinge of the laptop, and I'm inserting the pick in, and I'm popping the bottom of the shell up, if you can see right there. And then I just push the plastic pick downward, and it pops the bottom right off. It comes off pretty easily, as you can see. And then it is ready to come off and slide over to the left. This is what the inside of the laptop looks like. While you have the laptop opened up, you will want to spray the cooling fan with compressed air. This cooling fan right here. Now, the blue stick over here that I'm going to be showing you right here comes off with a Phillips screwdriver, the same one you just took the bottom of the case off with. This is the hard drive. You take that off, and then you put the newly cloned hard drive in, and then you tighten it down with the screw and make sure it's firm and fit it in good. Make sure everything is tight and looks okay. Again, that's what it's going to look like. Then you are ready to put the bottom shell casing back on the laptop, and you'll kind of want to push it down with maybe about a pound of force, not too much, and then you can hear it kind of clip and click back into place. Do that all around the bottom and in the center of the laptop, and then you'll be ready to put the screws back into it, and then that will secure it. So here I am putting the screws back into the bottom of the laptop, getting it all ready. And after this, I'm going to show you, I'm going to power on the laptop. I have a diagnostic tool that will show you the specs of the laptop and show you that it's now reading the 1 terabyte hard drive. And that's all there is to upgrading the M2 PCI Express NVMe hard drive in your Asus laptop. Here is the diagnostics showing you that the 1 terabyte drive is installed.